This is TWiT.
So back to QAnon.
Yes.
So in his update, I think occurring now, Trump is asked to shed light on his thoughts about the lunatic QAnon conspiracy theory, says Aaron Rupar. Instead of denouncing it, he says, I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. I've heard these are people who love our country.
Oh, Lord.
So the war is not only on social media, friends.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what Facebook does about QAnon.
Right, exactly.
Although,
the President of the United States just endorsed QAnon.
But here's the difference. Okay, so that makes QAnon okay to a certain group of people. But what Facebook does is facilitate the actual, do the research, which is the tagline on QAnon. It facilitates all of that. It provides you with all the document. It allows somebody to go down that rabbit hole.
Right. It goes on. Reporter, QAnon believes you are secretly saving the world from this cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Are you behind that?
I can guess what he said.
Trump. Is that supposed to be a bad thing?
Yes.
We are, actually. We are saving the world.
We're saving the world. You're right. This is the second time he's been asked about the QAnon. The first time he just kind of moved on. I guess he's decided now to embrace. And
this is his base.
It's
got
his base.
Nowhere else to go.
It's his base.
170?
Facebook has said that it will restrict the spread of QAnon content on its pages, groups, and Instagram accounts. It will allow people to post content supporting movements like QAnon if other policies are not broken, such as those about harassment, fake accounts, hate speech, or inciting violence, none of which QAnon does outwardly. QAnon pages and groups will be ranked lower in its newsfeed in the near future, right after the election, depending on what happens, and that hashtags, titles, or accounts associated with a conspiracy theory will be demoted in search results. They did remove 790 groups, 100 pages, and 1,500 ads tied to QAnon. They restricted over 10,000 Instagram accounts, wow, alongside 1,950 groups and 440 Facebook pages, and blocked more than 300 hashtags. So, of course, the problem with the conspiracy theory is all of this, anything that happens, but all of this confirms the conspiracy theory.
Right.
You go, you see, I told you, it must be true. But I think, and if you want to know what is QAnon, there's a very good piece in The Atlantic from last month that I'd highly recommend that goes deep down the rabbit hole. It actually was, I think, the cover story in the July or August by Adrienne LaFrance, The Prophecies of Q. It was really, really well done. And there's it's deep. It's a deep, long, and it's a really good example of conspiracy theory. In fact, what's really interesting about QAnon, it's kind of a meta conspiracy theory. It takes all of the best parts of all the other conspiracy theories and merges it into one weird volcano of conspiracy theories. And
pizza,
I laugh to keep from crying.
5G, everything.
It's got it all. The protocols of the Zion, elders of Zion, George Soros, all of that stuff is all kind of merged in to one weird thing. And then, and the funny thing is, no matter what happens to counter it, there's always, you see, and that's the problem with conspiracy theory. It's just it's all really confirmation bias. It's just it's too bad. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And by the way, Trump is not alone. There are 11 congressional candidates this election cycle. I
thought there was just one in Florida.
There's 11 that publicly support.
One in Georgia that actually won their primary.
She won her primary, but she's not alone.
Georgia, right. 11?
Yeah. According to Axios, 11 GOP congressional nominees support QAnon.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
Here's one of them posing with her handgun in Rifle, Colorado.
To be fair, primaries award the craziest. They have gotten worse and worse about that. So these are the craziest of...
Yeah, but this woman, Lauren Boebert, defeated 5-term congressional member of Congress Scott Tipton in the Republican primary for the 3rd congressional district.
And it's a Republican district.
And Trump had endorsed Tipton, but Lauren beat him.
Well, this is bad news for the election because that's kind of why Trump won in 2016, he was the FU candidate, right?
Right.
He was for people sick
Yes.
of politics as usual. And QAnon.
Could you say that in French, please? It sounds so much better.